name is Nick Smith, and I'll be interviewing with one of our very special guests, Phil Morris. Hi.
How you doing, Nick? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. So a lot of us like to ask you a few questions, like, what made you to become an actor?
Well, I think my father is a man named Greg Morris. He did the original Mission Impossible series back in the 60s that the movies were based on. And I grew up with him as you know, kind of my hero. And in seeing his career and watching how much fun he had acting, whether it was stage or television or film I thought it was the most fun you could have and get paid. So I was thrilled. I mean, at first I was just like an athlete and stuff, but I think later on, as I started to understand professions and career choices, that was really attractive to me. And you know, I saw him go to work. I went to work with him many, many times. And it was like this, you know, I saw the cameras, I saw the sound, I saw the microphones, I saw the lights, and it affected me so greatly that I knew that this was something that I had to be a part of. So that's kind of how it started. My father was a huge influence.
That's actually one of the questions we would like to know about it. Since your father was on a popular TV show called Mission Impossible, what was it like to being the son of a popular actor?
Well, you know, it was a lot of fun, but it was also a little weird, because when he got really famous, we couldn't go places like restaurants and Disneyland and you know, Universal Studios. We couldn't go to those places because the whole time would be taken up with him signing autographs or shaking hands or saying hello to people. So it took away from the time that we had as a family. So that was a little weird. But other than that, it was truly a blessing. It was an amazing stroke of good fortune for me to be born into that family and to have a father who was so talented and who did so many wonderful things and was in so many wonderful productions. You know, we traveled the world. I went to Africa and China and Japan and England and Europe, and we traveled the world with my father and the jobs that he did. So I saw acting as not just, it's like the army. It wasn't just a job, it was a real adventure. It was something that could take me all over the world, could introduce me to people I would never meet if I was just in Los Angeles, if I was just in New York. So growing up with him was truly special, a very unique experience, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
And when did you start as an actor?
Well, I started in elementary school. We were doing little productions of Charlie Brown or, you know, original productions that people would write, and then we would do them for class. And then I kind of dumped it for a minute. You know, I was into sports and girls and you know, like stuff that dudes are into, you know?
Typical jockey.
Yeah.
Typical high school jockey.
Yeah, exactly. And I really didn't get bitten by the bug again until I graduated high school. I went on location with my father on a movie. And it was wonderful. It was an Army movie called Contact 303 that was never completed, and I firmly believe that experience was just there for me to start my road. You know, some things are put before you just for your journey, you know, and you don't know why, but you know that they're very special and that you have to take advantage of them. And this was one of those opportunities and experiences that I took full advantage of. And one day, in fact, I was 17 years old. I was just a production assistant on this movie. And they came to me. My father was one of the stars. A man named Billy D. Williams was one of the stars. Henry Fonda, major icon, film icon, was one of the stars. So it was a major film. And we were shooting on location, and we were dressed in Army fatigues. It was like I was playing Army again. You know, like we do when we're kids. We're just playing, man. So that was fantastic. And one day they came to me and they said my father had gotten hurt, unfortunately, and they didn't know if he was going to be able to continue. And they wanted to know if I would take over his role. I know.
Wow.
I'm 17 years old. I really have never acted before, but I think I gave them a sense of my self-confidence and my ability to handle myself while, you know, on the set. Luckily, my father got better, and he came back to shoot the movie, but they gave me a small role in the movie, and I loved it so much. I get my first paycheck. It was amazing. I mean, I'm acting. I'm just having a good time. I get paid. Well, I gotta figure this out as a living. I gotta work this out because this is just too good. So I came back to Los Angeles, and I started in theater, a theater company, and then I got a shot to do a play called Gangs. It was an improvisational play, really, really cool. A lot of great Broadway actors were in it, and they taught me what being a theater actor was really all about. The discipline it takes, the hard work it takes, the collaboration with your other actors, with your director, with your producers, with your stage managers. You know, it showed me that this is such a big play, such a big sandbox. And one person doesn't make this happen. We all make it happen. We need every one of us to support our effort to put on the greatest show that we can think of. And so I really appreciated that early experience because it showed me that collaborative effort, working together, was how you make the best creative product.
That is very amazing. But we also know that for all of us, we know that you also did a lot of voice acting as well. So what is the difference between voice acting in cartoons and video games?
It's similar in that you have to use this imagination that we have to the utmost because you're talking about animation. And then when you're talking about video games, nothing's real. I'm shooting one right now. It's a major video game. And it's what they call Mocap. You guys familiar with Mocap? Motion capture?
Yeah.
Motion capture.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a big Mocap game. It's one of the top ones that you'll see next year in 2017. So I'm in the Mocap getup in a very tight suit with all the markers of proximity, and I have this helmet on, and I've got the mic, the camera right here in my face. Here's the thing about acting for video games. There's no real camera that you act towards. There's cameras 365 degrees all around you, all up and down the walls, so there's no close-up, two-shot, there's none of that normal stuff that you think. It's all happening at one time. But, like, if I have to get into a car, there's no car there. There's just a box that I sit on and a C-stand with an arm. So you open the arm, that's the door. You sit on the box, that's the seat. And if you were to look at the monitor, which is, they show you this monitor, it's all mocked up. So it looks like you're actually sitting in a car. But there's nothing there. So what do you have to use? Your imagination. And you have to use your imagination more in the video game portion of this Mocap stuff because there's no reality there. They tell you what the scene is. They explain to you, okay, this character, let's say it's Wolverine. I'm not saying it is, but I'm not saying it isn't. Okay? This character Wolverine is having a scene with me. Well, the dude in this suit is just a dude, but you see him on screen and he looks like Wolverine. It's crazy. It's a little crazy, but it's fantastic, and I'm just really getting into it. It's the first Mocap game I've done. I've done a lot of voiceovers for video games, but I've never put on the suit and walked and talked and jumped and fought and run and do, you know what I mean? It's awesome, and it's very freeing because again, you don't have to like if you're doing this thing and you got to stay here, I got to stay here, you got to stay there. I can't get into your shot, you can't get into my shot. When you're doing this video Mocap stuff, it doesn't matter because they'll take whatever camera they want to focus on you guys. I love it. I really enjoy it. They do a lot of stuntmen work on Mocap because it's that movement that they're looking for. It's that fluid, honest movement. Stuntmen do that better than actors do. The difference between that and actual video or actual animation voiceover, in animation voiceover, there's just a microphone, a director, engineers in the back, maybe your castmates, and a script, right? And so I'm just literally acting into the microphone. There's no movement. I'm not moving around unless I choose to move myself, but there's no movement necessary or required. So it's all pretty static, and I'm just doing it into a microphone. Very different than video game Mocap voiceover.
Wow. What do you do in your spare time?
I do a lot. I teach and study martial arts. I've been doing a martial art called Wing Chun Kung Fu. In fact, today I was going to wear a Bruce Lee t-shirt. And I thought, oh, that's too casual. But then I see myself and I'm like, Bruce would have been a nice addition in this room. Seeing all the cool shirts I see, a little Kermit over there, some things going on, Jimi Hendrix, Superman, there's a Star Trek in the back, you got a man over here. I mean, actually, I would have fit right in, right? But the reason I had a Bruce Lee t-shirt is because Bruce Lee's home art was Wing Chun Kung Fu. And Bruce Lee was one of my favorite of all time movie actors, action actors, martial artists, philosophers, full stop. And so teach and study martial arts, have done for many, many years. I play sports, tennis, golf, basketball, football, what you got? I mean, I'm an athlete. I read constantly. I go to the theater constantly. I love music. One of the things that I say to young actors all the time is, live your life. Do as many things that interest you as humanly possible. Be passionate about as many things as you can be, honestly. And bring that passion, bring that interest to your work as an actor, a director, an editor, a producer, a writer, a cameraman, and bring your real life into your career. Don't live your life as an actor. Don't live your life as a director. Because how often as an actor are you going to play an actor? So why are you going to spend your time working on a character that you play very seldom? But you'll play an athlete a lot, you'll play a coach, you'll play a businessman, you'll play a doctor, you'll play a father, you'll play a husband. And all of those things require a great depth of understanding and a great encyclopedia of knowledge. And when you bring that encyclopedia of knowledge to your work in all of those aspects, it fills it. It makes it alive. It gives you references. It gives you places that you can draw on, then to apply to your work as an artist. So I do many things. I keep myself interested in so many things so that I can apply that to my work as an actor.
That's amazing. So, now back to the acting standpoint.
I don't think we really left acting, but okay.
Were there other things you wanted to do instead of acting?
Yes. I also have a racing license. How crazy. I'm a mountain climber and a priest. No, I'm not. But I do race cars, and I wanted to design cars when I was younger. I really love cars. I'm a big technological guy. I love man and machines and how we blend that together. So I think I would love to be a race car driver or an automotive designer. What else would I want to be? I wanted to be a professional tennis player. I played high-level tennis. I wanted to be an animator. I love animation. I love drawing. I love illustration. I love comic books. I have over 20,000 comic books in my own personal collection. So those are some of the things I wanted to be. I also wanted to be a drummer. I studied drumming, the drums. I think that's why I became an actor. Because as an actor, it was the only place that I thought I could be all of those things. Really. It's the one place in the world where I could probably be everything I ever wanted to be and get paid for it. I mean, I would do it for free. Don't tell my agent that. But because I love it so much. I mean, you guys, you know how much this means to you. You know that you would do it for free if they would let you do it, And so, in a way, I think I've been developing all of these skills so that I can somewhere explore them on camera. And so that's
amazing.
Yeah.
And was there ever a character in any media that you've always wanted to portray?
Well, early on, because I am a comic book fan, I did want to play the Black Panther, right?
Ooh,
Thought I'd be the bomb.
wow.
Right? I think I'm a little old now to play the Panther. I could play maybe his father.
T'Chaka?
Now. Bring it!
Yeah.
T'Chaka.
Yeah.
But I think they've already hooked that up because the Black Panther movie's coming out. And I hope it's fantastic. I like Chadwick Boseman. I think that's the gentleman playing Black Panther. So Black Panther is one of the characters I'd love to have played from the comics. There's a character that I want to play. His name's Richard Etheridge. He was a great real life figure. Anyway, he was what they would call a surfman. He was a waterman back in the late 1800s. One of the first African-American, the only African-American lifesaver of note, really. And it's an amazing story. I'd like to play him. What else? Who else would I play? If they do The Matrix again, I'll play Morpheus. I'd like to replace Sam Jackson as Nick Fury. Stop me, you know what I mean? These are all places I'd like to go play, so yeah.
Wow, just wow. And one of the things for when you get into the role of the character, is it sometimes hard of getting into the role of the character that you had to play?
Yes, depending on the character. And if the character is similar to you, obviously not so much, not that hard. because he's right there for you to reference. He's a part of you. It's more challenging when they have dynamics that are different than what you bring naturally. And that's then the work of the actor, to find your way to that character and find as many relating points as you can to make this character live and breathe, so that you're not acting, you're living, you're behaving, and you're speaking as the character, as they would speak and behave. So yeah, sometimes it can be a challenge. I'm getting ready to do the Odd Couple. I don't know if you guys know that play. And I'm going to play Oscar, not Felix. So
Remind to some people who never heard The Odd Couple. Okay. Remind us again of what The Odd Couple's about.
The Odd Couple is a play by Neil Simon, who's a wonderful American playwright. Basically, it's what it says. It's two guys. One of them, Oscar Madison, who's a very sloppy, curmudgeon-y sports writer in New York. The other is a Felix Unger, who is OCD, very anal, retentive, super fastidious, very neat, very tidy, very orderly. So you have a very tidy, neat, orderly man against a very sloppy, slovenly, kind of a bum, if you will. And so that's who I play. I play Oscar. And so Oscar, for me, is not necessarily a natural fit. I'm probably more of a Felix Unger type, but they've got an actor who's way more Felix Unger than me. So my challenge would be to find the ways that Oscar and I relate, and the ways that he lives that I have to find my way into, and whether I use animal, a lot of times I use an animal. What's a good animal for him? Maybe it's a bear, maybe it's a sloth, maybe it's a gorilla.
Or a pig.
Or a pig, So I work like that. I try and find the ways that I'm alike, and then I try to find the ways that I'm different, and try to make those ways that I'm different match up with this character. So.
We got two more, and we'll start into a Q&A. So yes.
Sure.
What is your favorite memory in acting?
I have so many. I've been doing it since I was 17, and I'm 57, so that's 40 years. My father, I said before, Greg Morris, was one of the stars of the original Mission Impossible. I did the new Mission Impossible in Australia from 1989 to 1991. My father came down and guest starred on a few of those episodes. Those episodes for me are things that will live in my memory forever, because my father's no longer here, he's passed away. And so to be able to work on a show that he made famous, as the son of that character, being the son of him, coming in to play my father in those, it was absolutely surreal. So that's absolutely one of my favorite memories ever. I did a show called Seinfeld. I don't know if you guys know Seinfeld. I played a character named Jackie Chiles, who was the lawyer, a super verbose, unbelievably, what do I want to say, fantastical character. He was an amazing character. To do Seinfeld, every episode I was on that show was a special memory, because that was such an iconic show to be a part of. To do the final episode, which was watched by over 80 million people, was very, very special. I've done some amazing animation work. I did a show called Smallville that I played a character called John Jones, the Martian Manhunter. Okay, we're all fans of this job. First time I went in to see the ADR, we know ADR is the dialogue that you put in after the show's been shot. So I was on the sound stage on a big screen. There's my character talking to Clark Kent. Then I turn and I fly out of the Kent barn. I fly out of the Kent barn. I fly out of the Kent barn. I must have watched that 7 times. I had them run it over and over. I just couldn't believe it. It was like, I'm flying. I'm actually flying. I've been dreaming about this my whole life. And I'm on screen, I'm flying. See, I'm the kind of person, I'm not kidding you. If I woke up tomorrow and I was hovering 7 feet above my bed, I'd look down and I'd go, I knew it! I knew it, of course. I've got powers. I'm that guy. So when I got that role on Smallville, and I was able to embody what, for me as a childhood dream, would have been to be in a scene with Superman, and there I am in a scene with Superman, and then I fly off? Are you kidding? That to me I was like, I mean, literally, I could have gone and died to heaven right then. It was just, it was fantastic.
Wow. And last but not least, there's a lot of us who wanted to be voice actors or actors. So, what advice would you like to give to our aspiring people?
Well, I've given you a little bit of advice already, but what I always tell my youngest actors is find the best class that you can. Find the best teacher that you can. We don't know it out of the box. We have to learn it. And as good as we may be, as cute as we may be, as funny as we may be with our family and our friends, you all know that when they turn that camera on, or you stand on stage, it's a little different. It's a little different. And you have to find out what that journey is all about. And the best way to do it is to go to the best source that you can find that's near you, whether it's a local theater, whether it's here, or an independent professional acting class, so that you not only are given the best instruction you can get, but you're also around other people who are passionate about what you're passionate about. And you connect, and you create your network of support, and your network of friends. And advice is a tough business. You need help. You need support. No one does it themselves. So when you go to a great class, or the best you can find, that's what you get. You get great teaching. You understand the work of an actor and craft on a level that you wouldn't come to by yourself. When you're with other people who are striving to understand and learn the same things you're trying to understand and learn, you don't feel so alone. You feel as though you have a community. You feel as though you have a village that's going to help you on your journey, which is a very, very tough journey, I'm here to tell you. So that's the first thing I say. The second thing I say is read. Read. Go to plays, go to movies, absorb, watch TV. Do as much as you can to find as many reference points as you can have. Political, sports, spiritual, comics, martial art, action adventure, drama, everything. Everything under the sun. Find a way to it so that it allows you to fill in your encyclopedia of knowledge, and you bring that to whatever the discipline is, directing, acting, editing, writing, whatever it is. So those are the two things that are really, really important. And the last thing is, stay humble. Stay humble. I don't care how big you get, and I expect some of you may get pretty big. I expect I'm still going to get pretty big. But I'm still going to maintain my humility, my integrity, the thing that brings you to anything. And if you're lucky enough to be successful, count your blessings and don't take it for granted. That's what I've got to say.
Well, thank you for coming.
That's been my pleasure. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, of course. Everybody?